I'm fired up. I love that intro. So welcome to Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and welcome to another episode of me live, helping you move your business forward and giving you some tips and tricks in the marketing world. And I'm super excited for this topic today because this goes really into my bread and butter. This is the things that I've been really diving into, and this is the stuff that I actually help other people directly, not just helping start up things or whatever the case is. But this is, I'm certified in email marketing and things like that. So this is something I'm super excited about because this topic has been something that's been on my mind for a while, and I've been wanting to do an episode about this, and I haven't gotten to it. And when I started doing this 7 steps to freedom, or the 7, whatever you want to call it, 7 secrets to success, whatever you want to call those things. That's the big thing that came up, right? Is I was just like, oh man, I want to do the email one. I wanted to do it first, but I knew I had to wait because you got to get that foundation set up, and then we can dive into the fun stuff, the real good stuff. So if you're here live, drop me a hashtag live. If you're here on the replay, let me know that you're catching on the replay. If you're seeing this on YouTube later on the replay, definitely give me a subscribe if you'd like. I put content out every week. I'm actually starting to put more content out, doing a couple times a week now. And one of them is going to be a live training. The other one's going to end up being a walkthrough of some sort. We're going to go through some tools. We're going to go through some tips and tricks. It's going to be awesome. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Josh. I am a digital marketer. And it's really been that way for about the last 18 months. And I'm just going strong, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. And one of the things that I think that really bit me with this was the ability to serve at a higher level. And I've done quite a few things, and I've gone around different opportunities. I've done everything from selling meat door to door, selling cars, selling insurance. I've done the network marketing. We still have a network marketing team as it is right now. And we've done a lot of different things. And my wife and I have gone around and around on different opportunities. And digital marketing really stood out to me because I'm a techie guy. And so I grasped the ability to reach different avenues and reach different demographics of people very quickly. And it gave me a new passion of understanding that I can impact more lives, and I can serve at a higher level and be able to help other people push themselves forward, even beyond where I'm at currently. And so, I do still work a traditional job. For those of you out there that are probably wondering, oh, does he do this full time? I wish I did, honestly, and it's getting there. But I've got a lot of goals that I want to reach, and I'm not willing to leave my stream of income from my job, which is a pretty decent stream of income. I'm not willing to leave that until I've reached some of those goals. And so my wife's going to be free here soon, and it's going to be awesome. And so, but that's not what today is about. Today is about, what kind of emails should you be sending to your list? And when I say list, I'm not talking about your Facebook list, your Instagram list, your YouTube subscribers, unless you have them on an email list. But I'm talking about an email list that you've built using the foundation that we've talked about in the previous episodes here, the previous weeks of going through. You found your perfect product. You found your perfect prospect. You put together your perfect formula, and you built your perfect pages. And now what, right? The big thing that people don't realize is that when it comes to some of those little nuancy things, is that they don't really understand the next step always, right? You get all these things done, and then you go, okay, what now? And that's what we're going to talk about today is when you start building that list, you start having those people come your way. What do you do with them, right? What do you do with that information? You get their email, and then do you just give them the thing they wanted and then move on? No. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the perfect emails to send. And we're going to talk about 3 types of emails that are going to be the main ones that you're going to send out. And then I'm thinking about throwing a couple extra things in there, and it's going to be pretty good. But I'm going to go through those 3 first, and we'll see kind of how time goes. And so let's walk through the process of a typical prospect in your area, right? And if you're an affiliate marketer, it doesn't matter what you do, you're always going to have someone going through a funnel. You're going to have someone going through some sort of process that is going to get them to where you might need to send them an email. And so step one is they see who you are, they start to know, like, and trust you, and they click on your link and they get to your page, and that page shows them your perfect product. And the product might actually, you might just show them a lead magnet right before your product, or maybe it goes right to your product. Whatever it is, they get into there, they start seeing what you're all about, and then now they're on your email list, and they've probably gotten whatever lead magnet or tripwire that you have, and they've ran through and they've gotten, information from you. And maybe you had an email that sent out whatever free thing it is that you had, or tripwire thing you had. And we got James in the house. What's up, James? Thanks for being here with me, brother. I appreciate your support. James is somebody who I see quite a bit coming around here. So definitely nice to see a familiar face. But anyways, so they're on your list. They maybe got an email from you, but now they're just kind of sitting there and you don't really know what to do, right? So that first email that you're going to send out to that person, that's going to be your autoresponder. And the thing is when you look at, and I'm going to put that up here, we're going to do that in the autoresponder, right? So your autoresponder email is the first one you're going to send out. That's the automatic, goes out when somebody gets the information, when they request it. That's the, basically, they wanted a free thing and you sent it to them and said, here you go. Now, most people that when they're starting out, they don't generally have an idea of how many emails they should send out. They think, oh, well, I'll just send them this one and then they'll be good, right? And then they'll see all my content and they'll follow me and they'll do all these things. Not typically. So on average, it takes 7 to 10 times. So 7 to 10 times for somebody to see what it is that you have to offer before they're going to buy or opt in or whatever. And so if they're on your list already and you send them one email about whatever it is that you gave them away, and they went to your sales page and they never see your sales page again, good luck trying to make that sale. So on minimum, usually you're going to see about 7 times that somebody's going to see something before they might buy. Now, on the off chance that somebody does buy on the first time, you still want them to see other parts of what you're doing, right? You're not just a one-trick pony. And I mean, most people aren't. We talked about this before with the perfect pages is, you're going to have in the formula as well, you're going to have a process that you're going to take people through, a ladder of sorts. And you want to be able to provide that ladder to people throughout your email process. So I personally recommend at least 3, but usually 5 to 7 emails that go out after your initial process as part of an autoresponder series. Now, why 5 to 7? Well, if the minimum is 7 and you don't want to overload people, that 5 to 7 range gives them enough chances to get back into your information that they're more likely to buy the stuff that you're selling. Or maybe it's a program or a course or whatever the case is. It's enough information that they can actually come in and, see that over and over again in the email list. Now, the other reason why 5 to 7 is good is because it gives you a chance to provide additional value. Emails is not all about just boom, 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 send out all these offers and say, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. It's all about creating that relationship. Now, it's a little different now than it used to be. And I didn't get into email marketing back in the day, 15, 20 years ago, when it first started getting big and everybody was just always checking their emails. Now it's a little harder to keep them opening up your emails. So when they see a smaller amount, that 5 to 7, they're going to be more likely to open up those first few emails in order to start building that relationship with you, to build that know, like, and trust factor. And then from there, you can get them into another bit, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit later. So the first one, autoresponder. Now, the second type of email that you may want to send is going to be called transactional emails. Now, transactional emails are ones like that first autoresponder, right? That's kind of a transactional email because they asked for something, you gave them something, right? So the whole idea is that you are creating that transaction, you're fulfilling that transaction. So when somebody buys from you, that's something where you can have a transactional email. When somebody asks you a question like a contact us page or FAQ form or something like that, where they can ask something of you or get more information from you and you send back a response that's usually automated, right? So like a contact us form, and then you send a response back that says, hey, thanks for contacting us. We'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can or within 24 hours. That's a transactional email or a receipt or things like that. Those are types of emails that you're going to send to your list because you're going to want to make sure that they get that information. And again, just like James said here as well, you're nurturing the relationship. You're creating that bond between you and the people on your list to show them that you truly care about them, especially if you're sending them those transactional emails and helping them understand a little bit more about who you are. Now, the next one is one that I will say is probably most important. And well, maybe not most important, but I would say it's very, very important. And when somebody gets on your list in the first place, the type of email to send or an email, a group of emails would be a welcome sequence. Okay. And so let's say somebody goes to your website or they go onto your profile or to your Instagram or whatever, and you have a way for them to subscribe to your newsletter or to subscribe to your list. And so like a good example is our website says, subscribe for marketing tips and tricks and promotions and things like that. So when they get on your list, you want to make sure that you are welcoming them in a way that shows them a little bit about who you are, what you can actually provide to them, the kind of value they can expect to receive, and then also maybe tell them a little story. So, and this is one I wanted to provide an example for, is we have an onboarding sequence for our anybody who comes on our list where it actually welcomes them into the list, gives them a little bit of information in terms of how they can get a hold of us. So that's, maybe our Facebook page, our Twitter feed, it could be our YouTube channel. All those things are available there for them to connect with us. And then it also gives them a little bit of information of what they can expect from the emails. But then what it does is it goes into an intro sequence that literally just tells our story. It goes in and shows them that we are real people. It goes through our struggles. It goes through our epiphanies. If you've ever read Russell Brunson's book, Expert Secrets, he talks about the epiphany bridge. That's just kind of what happens as we take them through this journey of where we say, this is where we started here, and this is where we are now. And the in between is what you're really learning about us. And something that's really cool about that is you essentially are nurturing them into a way that they really start to understand who you are. Like James said, you're 6 emails before I ever ask them to take action. Absolutely. You're building that relationship. You're helping them understand who it is that you are. And then you're going through and asking them to take that action. And, so we have different ways of segmenting our list so that way they go through this flow, and then when they're done with this flow they go into another list that gets them different types of emails and things like that. So welcome sequence is a big thing that those are types of emails you can send, and I usually for those 5 to 7 emails in a welcome sequence to say who, like, welcome them in, how they can get a hold of you, who you are, where you came from, what inspired you to be where you are right now, and what they can expect from you before they ever get any sort of marketing emails. Now, I want to go back a little bit and compare, because we talked about the autoresponder and we talked about the welcome sequence. Now, the autoresponder, that one is going to be more along the lines of they wanted something specific, right? They came into they opted into some welcome page, or they got something free, or you had a low cost, maybe like a free book with shipping or whatever the case is, and you are just replying to their interest into that product. So that's going to be really direct, right? You're going to say, here's your information, and then the next sequence of emails is just taking them through the process of why the things they saw after that first page are very important and why it would be valuable to them to get them to that end result of buying the product. Now, a lot of people like myself will put in links back to some of those sales pages, say, hey, if you want to go through here, let's definitely go in and, look at these things, and, let's look at this sales page, or let's look at this information, or here's some testimonials. You're basically following up, nurturing that sale. And the welcome sequence, you're not doing that because they came on to get more information from you and to get some additional things and to understand what it is that you're trying to offer them. So that you want to actually start out with introduction, that know, like, and trust factor, and then move into having your marketing emails. And so we talked about that, right? We talked about number one is autoresponder emails. So that's your automatic response from opting in for information. Number two is transactional emails. That's information that, for actions that they take. So receipts, providing, login details, things like that. And then number three was a welcome sequence. That's another type of email or email sequence that you can send. But I'm going to give you a little bonus here because I'm doing great on time and I've gone through this. Some of you might think this is a little fast. Others of you might be like, this is great, But the last one I will say, and this is one that a lot of people maybe forget about down the road. And it's something that a lot of people that I've talked to, ones that I've helped specifically, that they said, well, what do you do? How do you send these? Like, what are you supposed to send? And I'm talking about newsletters. Now, newsletters to most people, you might think of like your department store or, the bakery down the road or whatever. And they send these newsletters and say, hey, here's some information for you. Here's a sale coming up. Here's this promotion. That's exactly what it is, right? And these newsletters, some people do them every day. Some people do them every week. Some people do them once a month. I recommend at least 2 or 3 times a week because, especially in the world that we're in today, you don't know when somebody, most of our email providers can tell you when people most likely will open up the emails, but most people aren't going to give you that information right off up front, right? They're not going to tell you like, hey, this is the best time to get a hold of me. So you want to be able to land in their inbox as quickly as possible and as often as possible without being overbearing. Like 3 times a day, don't do that. That's not good. Nobody likes that. But 2 or 3 times a week, that's great, right? And so what I do actually is usually Mondays and Tuesdays, I'll send something of value. Wednesdays, I've actually switched that now to send out an email right before I'm going to go live. So that way people have that information. They know what they can expect. And then on Thursdays, I'll send something else. Fridays, I'll send something. And then Saturdays, I'll actually send my recap. So I'm really only sending newsletters 4 times a week: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday is just an update. Saturday is just an update, just in case you missed it kind of thing. And that's my process. But the reason why I say this is a bonus is because it's not really one of the most important ones to start out with. Because if you're asking yourself, well, what do I need to do? Like, what kind of emails do I need to send my list? Start with those, right? Start with the autoresponder series. Start with some, transactional emails. Learn how to write those out. Start with the welcome sequence and just kind of do some of those things. And once you get that done, then the next thing that you can do is you can start learning how to pull that inspiration. And so here we're going to go into one last little bonus for you is, how do you find inspiration to write these newsletters, right? How do you know what to write every day? And think about everything you do in any given point in time, and think about all the things that you might be actually, working on, and think of the stories, think of the things that you've done, think of all the places you've gone, and just start keeping a journal of all these ideas that might pop in your head. I do it on my phone. I have Evernote on my phone. Just I keep this thing with me all over the place. And so I have Evernote on my phone and I just pop it open and I put in an idea real quick. I've got a notebook in Evernote that's literally called Facebook Lives. I've even got one that's called blogs for my blog ideas. I've got one that's called email marketing for my email ideas. And I just put them in there, right? If I'm like, oh, that'd be a great blog, boom, put that in. And most of the time, your life experiences, you don't have to have like a script written out. I don't write a script for all my lives. I have a few bullet points over here on a screen on this side, and I'm looking at you in the camera and I glance over every now and then and just make sure I'm on track. And that's really it, right? All of this is experience that I've gotten over the last 18 months being in the digital marketing world. And I know that doesn't seem like a long time, but I can tell you I've read more books, taken more courses, and listened to more trainings than probably most people out there. The majority of people that are trying email marketing, because I know that this is the direction I want to go. So that's right. Just inspiration in everything you do. So we're going to go ahead and recap real quick, right? So number one, we talked about the first type of emails you're going to be sending out is usually autoresponders because people are opting in to get on your list. Number two is transactional emails. When they take action, you send them a response. Number three is going to be a welcome sequence. People get on your list. You want to welcome them. You want to nurture them. And here, just a quick little kind of plug for that welcome sequence. A really cool thing to do is after your autoresponder series, plug them into that welcome sequence, right? So let's say, for example, you get done with the last autoresponder and it's 5 emails. Your 6th email could be sending out that welcome sequence and introducing yourself and say, hey, who's this Josh guy sending me emails anyways? Like, well, here's my story. Cool little way to build that know, like, and trust factor before you get them into the newsletters. So that way they start getting your emails consistently. So the last thing I'll talk about here is just, we're going through these 7 steps to success, right? These 7 steps to freedom. And the big thing that's has helped me through this is understanding the foundation, understanding the principles, understanding exactly how to do these things at a deep level. I mean, this is just high level stuff. This is just the tip of the iceberg compared to what you can get into. And one of the things that I believe is really true about this online world is that it really takes determination and consistency and taking action. And the best way to do that is to, really dive yourself into some good training, into some good information. And what did that for me was getting a hold of a book called The Escape Plan. And The Escape Plan is a book that I thoroughly enjoyed. It taught me all the fundamental principles, all these things that you're learning from me right now. That's what this book taught me. This is something that I will share it across the world because, number one, it's free, right? The book itself is free. You don't have to pay shipping. It's an ebook. It'll go right to your email. You don't even have to worry about trying to figure out how you get this thing. And it's about 180 pages and it's absolutely amazing. It's gold. And my friend Nick, who wrote it, he really wrote this with the thought process of, living your life based on specific values and morals in mind. And so the best place to get that, right down below here, you're going to see it right down here, 9 to 5 Freedom Secret. And that is where you're going to be able to get a hold of that book. That's going to give you the information that you need to really dive deep into all these things we've been talking about. We've only got a couple more lives that I'm going to do on this 7 steps to freedom. And I know for a fact that this is going to end up being something that's really, really useful for you. And I don't want you to miss out on these things. I mean, this team is growing. They're going to have a bunch of cool stuff coming out. There is a training that is attached to it. So once you get the free book, you're going to see a training called Freedom Launchpad. I highly recommend that because it does go along with the book. It goes along with the training that you're going to get in the book. And it step by step takes you, through all of the 7 steps that we're talking about here. Think of what I've told you and go even leagues deeper. And that's what Nick is doing for you here. So 9 to 5 Freedom Secret right here. That's the way where you're going to go to get that free book. And it'll go right to your email. And I think you're going to love it. I know I did. And if you do have questions, let me know. I definitely am here to help you. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you move your business forward. And I absolutely am excited for you to be able to experience the same things I did when I first read the book. So that's all I've got for today. If you're coming back on the end of this here, just go back to the beginning. Go listen to all the tips and everything in there. This is all about what emails you want to send to your list, and just some tips in there on things that you can do and some ways that you can find inspiration. So my name's Josh. I appreciate you spending your time with me tonight, and we'll see you next time.